Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over my alt build. I changed it up a little bit from last time. If you guys remember, I was crossbow greatsword, and that got me a ton of different world boss drops, but that changed with the Talandre update. So we're going to be going over everything you need to know for this build. But before we get into that, I just want to give another big thank you to everyone for getting us to 1K. You guys are absolutely amazing. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. And in this video, like the previous one, we're going to be giving away $20, whether that be Steam, PlayStation, or Xbox, depending on which platform you are on. And all you have to do is be subscribed, leave a like, and leave a comment saying that you are here for 1K subs. Thank you again. Let's jump straight into it. So first things first is going to be the gear. Very, very similar to my main build, but that's just because this is incredible for DPS. I'm going to hover over all the different pieces, let you guys see the traits. I'm not going to go so much into it just because it would be a 20, 30, 40-minute video, and I know you guys don't want that. But we're running the Burkant Daggers, the Crimson Spear, the Crown Skull of Victory, the Howling Wind Shroud, Chosen Vanquisher 2-piece set for the extra skill damage boost, a 2-piece Void set for the extra max damage boost, the Death Knell Gorget, the Bracelet of Violent Undertow, the Band of Ancestors' Blood, the Ring of Celestial Light, and the Legacy Warbelt. Now, I know not all of these pieces are, I would say, best in slot, but best in slot would literally cost you 500,000 Lucent, and I don't think anyone wants to really spend that much money on the game. But if you do have that money, you could trade these two pieces out for the Imperial set. You can trade these pieces out, I think, for like the Frozen Tears or whatever. This one, I think, another one from, what's it called? Nebula Island. And then I believe this one you could trade out for the Archboss cape. But again, if you trade them out, you're basically costing yourself close to 500,000 Lucent. Nobody wants that. Now, in terms of runes, these are very similar to our pieces on our main. However, slightly different since we are using melee, but the weapons are the same: skill damage boost, mana efficiency, melee evasion. I might end up trading out the melee evasion depending on basically resonance and how capped I am on certain things, but for now this is what I have. In terms of the actual accessories, we have boss melee heavy instead of just boss heavy attack chance, because on my main we have a ranged and a melee, but on this one we just have melee, so we get a little bit more, but everything is basically the same: melee evasion, melee endurance, and like I said before, we might trade it out maybe for ranged, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see what resonance, but for now this does incredible, and most of the enemies that you're going to be fighting are going to be melee anyway, so it's not too big of a problem. Now, in terms of skills, highly recommend you guys just copy and paste. We're not going to go, again, too much into it, otherwise the theory craft of it could quite easily take 40 minutes to go over it. However, I will say I did test it. I've tested, I think, what was it, Aragon's Spear Dagger video, and compared it to this, and personally I prefer this one for PVE. This one's great because it does a ton of damage. One thing that I think is lacking, but I mean, I guess it comes with the territory regardless, is the lack of healing. But, you know, if you're doing so much damage already, I don't think really healing matters, but we'll eventually get there. And again, you guys can copy the skill specializations. Not much difference from this and my main. However, there is a little bit of a difference, of course, but pretty much all of them are the same. And we are going for a DOT build, so we will have both poison and fire going on there. And I think you can get upwards of like 5 to 7,000 damage per second just from DOTs. I think you get like 2.5 from poison, and then you get a little bit more. I haven't really paid too much attention to fire, but fire is a decent chunk more than poison. And this is basically how we go about it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward skill set. Now, in terms of mastery, we're going to be on questlog.gg, and like the previous video, the build will be in the description. So if you guys don't want to keep coming back to the video, you guys can just go to the description. I update it regularly if I change something, so don't worry about that. But this is going to be your mastery. And again, like the last video, there are some that are basically required. Number 1 is going to be Primal Strike. This one makes daggers incredible. You're basically doing, I think now anywhere between, I want to say 1,200 and 2,500, depending on if you get a double attack for light attacks, but you're doing a ton of damage for your light attacks. This one is way more necessary on this build. Again, like I said before, the healing isn't terribly great, so this one will help with self-sustain. And like before, this one is incredible. Don't get me wrong, the -40, but again, this is a DOT build, and having the extra poison damage is incredible. And on to the spear. This one's a little bit new. I'm still sort of getting my way around this, but basically this one right here, the damage of targets with 5 stacks, this one will just do 7% more damage. Great. I don't necessarily run this one. I think Mortal Wrath is one that I just can't be bothered. There are a lot of Mortal Wrath on here. If you look over here, we tend to not deal with that. But all of this will allow you to do more damage, keep you alive longer, and just overall help you in PVE. And finally, something that is more up in the air than anything, but is going to be artifacts. Like the last build, you're going to want to run Chaos. Chaos is just incredible when it comes to damage. We're not going to go too much into the sub-stats because the RNG is just too great, but as you guys can see, we're going a ton of melee on this as much as we can, and if we can get it, evasion, but just the RNG is too great that I'm not even going to bother trying to tell you go for this, go for that, because I think, again, with the math that I did, it was like it would take 12,000 was it artifacts to get, and well, you're maybe getting a couple hundred a week, so it could take upwards of a year, if not longer, to get these. So it doesn't really matter. Just find what you like for the substats. But the Chaos Harbinger artifact set will be your absolute friend when it comes to damage. So hopefully this build video helped you guys out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, how you guys like the build. And again, thank you guys so much for 1K subs. Make sure if you guys want to be entered into the giveaway, that you guys leave a like, leave a comment saying that you were here for 1K, and make sure you guys are subscribed. And again, we will announce the video or the winner of this video in about a week. I think I'll comment that they won, and yeah, should be good. And again, if you don't win, do not worry, we'll do more giveaways in the future. So if you don't win this one or the previous videos, you still have a chance in the future. This is not going to be a one and done. We're going to do a lot in the future because you guys are what make this community, and we want to give back to you guys. But that is about going to do it. So thank you, everyone. I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, take care. And I'll talk to you guys later.